Hey there, thanks so much for joining me for the Healthy Food from Healthy Gardens webinar. My name is Jessica Smith, and I am a soil scientist and ecological farmer who teaches and consults with growers and gardeners on how to grow the most nutritious food while also benefiting the planet. I'm the co-founder of Grow Food Nation, along with my friend Joe Vignola, and we also produce the film Grow Food. While filming this, I also created the Nourishing Backyard Garden formula to help more people all over the world get started on their journeys to growing food abundance. Growing food, amazing food, does not have to be difficult or stressful. That's why I wanted to share this presentation with you today. So let's go ahead and dive in. So here's an overview of what we're going to cover today: the current status of soil health, how do soil and plant health relate, the nutritional quality of our food and how that's influenced by the way the food is being grown, and then also we're going to cover the benefits of gardening for ourselves. Then we're going to go into what growing a healthy garden entails, and at the end of the webinar, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how I solved the biggest problem that most backyard gardeners face. Let's start with the current status of soil health overall. Many people use the words soil and dirt interchangeably, but let's go ahead and get this straight. Soil is alive, and dirt is what I would consider to be the mineral component that's lacking life. And the problem with our soil began when we started treating soil like dirt. And we can see the impacts of that from the loss of carbon into the atmosphere, application of numerous toxins, and practices that ultimately harm or hinder life in our soil. Even if we are bringing in topsoil or compost to fill garden beds, it's important to know where it came from and what you're actually getting. Most of us starting a garden from scratch or in the early stages of our gardening, we're not usually starting with the most healthy soil. Even experienced growers and gardeners who've been growing in the same area for many years still experience pests and diseases on the crops. All of this usually comes from either imbalances or deficiencies of certain key minerals and elements, which can be leached and removed over time, or the biology is just not there to assist the plants in accessing these minerals and nutrients. So how are plant health and soil health connected? Well, plants, soil microbes form this trifecta of garden health, and they all build each other up and create a foundation of support. So when one of these components is weak or missing, the system begins to degrade and break down. Without plants and organic matter, you can't have healthy soil or a robust microbial ecosystem. And without a robust microbial ecosystem, you can't have healthy plants. The nutritional quality of our fruits and vegetables have been decreasing over the years, which we've seen to correlate with the decreasing health of soil and the increasing health issues that people are now facing. When crops are fed NPK fertilizers, they appear to be more green and they might have a growth spurt, but this is false appearance of what a truly healthy plant is, as attested to by the constant increasing application of pesticides and fungicides that we're seeing used in agriculture. So when tested, these crops, although they usually seem to be healthy, they have imbalances in nutrition, higher water content, which means less nutritional density, and an increase in the shelf life, which leads to more food waste, which then ends up in our landfill rather than in our compost piles and back in our soil. So when we're encouraging life in our soil and supporting healthy plants, we ultimately get a better crop in terms of nutritional value for humans and other animals. And then as plants are able to obtain more and more of their nutritional needs from the help of the microbes, they have the necessary excess energy and elements to start creating more and more complex compounds, which are more medicinal and nutritionally balanced for people. So what are we supposed to do about this need for better food quality? Well, we can start by growing our own food. If you already grow your own food, you know and you've experienced the many benefits of gardening and growing your own food. It's an act of empowerment, and it improves local food security. Harvesting your own fruits and vegetables is also rewarding in itself, but gardening as an outdoor activity also improves our health, both physically and mentally. Some of these benefits you'll see or experience include getting fresh air, because you'd be really surprised if you check the air quality in your house to see what it actually is. And you also get sunshine exposure. It builds children's immune systems. It improves our mood thanks to a little microbe called MVK, which increases your serotonin level production when it comes into contact with you. And really, the earth just wants you to connect with it more often, is my opinion of why this happens. Also, exercise and movement is really good for you, but just make sure that you're practicing good posture in the garden. Especially, you want to make sure when you're bending and lifting your mind and your back. Also, it creates opportunity for bonding time with your family, and your kids are way more likely to eat it if they grow it. You also get more food diversity because you can experiment with all kinds of different varieties and heirloom varieties that stores just don't carry. You get fresher food, which has higher nutrient levels compared to store-bought food that was picked before it was ripe, and who knows how long ago that was. So how do you grow this amazing food? While the previous slide painted this quite rosy picture of gardening and the experience of it, it can be quite overwhelming to know where to start, and even more so what to do later on if the bugs or disease do come. It can be pretty stressful and disheartening to see all that hard work you put into the garden get eaten up by aphids or caterpillars or beetles, or your once robust zucchini plants that start wilting and succumbing to disease in the heat of the summer. There are many resources on the internet for DIY recipes to kill this or to kill that in the garden, and some are temporarily effective on the surface, and some not effective at all. And the truth is that just as in our own health, it's about preventative care, so we don't have to go to the hospital or develop the health conditions to begin with. We need to support the health of our garden from the very beginning and throughout the entire season, not just when something gets sick or comes up. And usually, disease is connected to a deficiency, which makes the plant more susceptible to disease in the first place. And in nature's eyes, this needs to be cleaned up so that only the healthy plants will reproduce for future generations and robustness of the species. So if the plant's lacking energy to fortify their leaf surface with a thick protective waxy cuticle layer, they may be more likely to get airborne disease because they don't have a strong physical barrier. Similar with insect pests, nature's other cleanup crew, if there is a breakdown in this trifecta and the plant isn't able to take simple compounds and convert them into complex compounds, they become food for the insects with simple digestive systems such as aphids. Or if they aren't able to achieve higher stages of plant health, where they're able to create protective compounds to defend themselves against beetles, this can be an issue that happens as well. I've even grown in community garden plots where infestations were occurring, and the damage did not affect my plot at all. These insects and diseases, they only appear and they can only consume unhealthy plants. So if we look at what I consider the attributes of a green thumb, we keep the good intention and our love mindset, so not this mindset of fear or warfare against nature or its members. We also observe the signs of good health or poor health from our plants, and we supply the plant and the soil ecosystem with what it needs to fortify itself for maximum health. So it's this mindset of encouragement. And how do we do this? We mineralize the soil and add plenty of compost and organic matter. We add biology to our seeds and our transplant roots to boost their digestive system with these beneficial microbes, so these inoculants we're applying. And we can boost the biology in our soil by adding microbial energy sources, not just sugar, also complex compounds like humates, and let them get to work digesting the minerals in the soil and creating plant available nutrients in a highly accessible and efficient form, right where the plants need it in the rhizosphere, which is around the plant roots. And we feed the plants with foliar sprays because, like I mentioned before, we're not necessarily starting out with a healthy soil. And the healthier the plant is, the more it's able to build and create healthy soil, and then attract a robust microbial ecosystem. And finally, we want to make sure we're keeping our soil covered and moist to protect the microbes and allow them to travel throughout the soil to get to mine for these minerals and also to keep our plants hydrated. And that's it. But even though the system takes the stress out of gardening and produces the highest quality food, it is extremely difficult and expensive to find all the necessary ingredients. And if you are lucky enough to find some of them, it's usually hard to find them in the right amount for your garden because these companies are geared towards larger farmers and agricultural systems. And I know it's hard because I've moved many times, and each time I started a garden, I would spend so many hours trying to locate these resources and usually end up missing a few that I really wanted or spending more money than I intended. And I got tired of doing this, and I felt bad because many of my students were also having the same difficulties. And not only that, but other people were always asking me where they can get all of these awesome things that I was speaking about. And so, no matter how much I did, I couldn't find any sources for these essential nutrients for the backyard gardener for this small scale. So, check it out. I decided to solve this problem, and not only for myself, because that's also beneficial to me, but for you and my other friends out there trying to grow good food. See, because I've spent the last several years consulting with growers, big ones, small ones, all over the world, and teaching at universities and working with the nonprofits and building some of these amazing relationships. I've been able to find the very best resources that will boost your garden and literally give it life. So what did I do? I created the Garden Health Kit to give you everything you need to get your garden off to a healthy start and to maintain that health throughout the growing season. It's in just the right amounts at an affordable price, and then the best part, delivered right to your door. This system, it allows you to build health and resiliency so that each growing season you build healthier ecosystem in your soil to support the next season and the next harvest. I'm really excited about this. It's a full garden healthcare system in one box. Again, if you were able to find all these amendments, minerals, nutrients, you'd likely spend hundreds of dollars and end up with so much excess and waste. Believe me, I've experienced this before. So, what if you could get all of the amendments you need to grow the healthiest food possible and the exact amount you need for less money? Well, now it's possible. Garden Health Kit, it comes with the soil mineral blend called Soil Boost, the seed and transplant inoculant called Seed Boost, the microbial food source called Bio Booster, and the foliar spray products for your plant's macro and micronutrient needs called Macro Boost and Micro Boost. And I've also put together instructions on how to use and apply these products in the convenient Garden Health Kit program. This insert also has a scannable QR code, so you can use your camera on your phone and it'll take you straight to the video tutorial on how to use it. And each box is good for a whole growing season, so you don't have to worry about expiration dates. And the best part is that you get to learn by doing. You'll begin to notice how your plants respond to the system and how to further support the life in your garden and the health of your family. To choose the perfect size for you, our small box sells for $79 and includes everything I spoke about before for up to 50 square feet of space. The medium box is perfect for up to 100 square feet of space and sells for $89. And then our large box is good for up to 250 square feet and is only $109. Again, each box contains the exact minerals you need and the precise ratio needed and delivered right to your door. Oh yeah, and I mentioned free shipping. Yep, I know I appreciate it, so I wanted to extend that to you. And again, here's everything you're getting: the soil mineral blend Soil Boost, the seed and transplant inoculant Seed Boost, the microbial food source, BioBooster, and the foliar spray products for your plants' macro and micronutrient needs. This is your Macro Boost and your Micro Boost, as well as the Convenient Garden Health Kit program and the Garden Health Kit tutorial video. And because you're here with me today, I wanted to extend this special offer to you. So when you choose to take advantage of the Garden Health Kit now, I'm going to take an additional $10 off each box. So I love you so much. And when you buy in the next 24 hours, you're going to get the small box for just $69. That makes the medium box just $79, and the large box only $99. And again, right now, we're offering free shipping. You can get it now by checking out the information below and selecting the right size box for your garden. And then we'll get your Garden Health Kit box right out to you on its way. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to hearing about your gardening awesomeness in the future. So see you next time.